Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So it's been a while since my last video, and if you have stuck around in this channel, welcome back, and welcome back to me too. So today it's a soft comeback. I just wanted to go through a few of my planners today because it is a Friday and I wanted to really make sure that I'm ready for the next week. So we are going to start with this planner. This is my pocket Leuchtturm 1916, was it? Is that what it is? Oh, 1917. Clearly, I am not very familiar with this kind of notebook, and I wanted this to be my Commonplace book. Unfortunately, I haven't been on here for quite a while, but I did use it to make lists and dump some information. If you have been following me on Instagram, then you know that I forgot my pen yesterday. I had intended to go to a cafe to journal. I haven't actually been doing that for many years, but then I decided to do it yesterday, and then I forgot my pen case, and this is that pen case. And inside, I have a lot of my pens that I use on a daily basis. So I have a few of these dot markers from 𝒉𝒃. One of them is just the dot, and the other two has another marker at the bottom. So these have been really useful for the kind of planning that I do. And then I also have another highlighter, and this is the pen that I have been using. And this is the Faber-Castell Eco Pigment in 0.2. It is super thin. The nib is just like that. It looks like it's just metal all the way through, but then there is that tip, and it has been working really well for me. The color payoff is really good, and I highly recommend it if you write very tiny letters like I do. I have my tweezers from Stationery Pal and a few more things. I'm going to take my Tombow Fudinosuke, and you have seen this in so many videos, mine and others. It's great to use for Hobonichi. If you hear any traffic noises, that is because I have a very busy street outside. And let me go ahead and fix that in a little bit because my windows are open. And then this one is a Pigma Micron 04, and I think this is from Craft Carrot. So these two are from Craft Carrot. I dropped by their store, I think in January. And then I have my ruler. I have one mild liner, and I have this fountain pen that I had meant to re-ink. As you can see, it's completely empty, and I should have been really keeping up with that, but I've been busy. And this is from Hobonichi store. So these are stamps, and I hauled it in the last video, which I will link in the cards and down below. And then I also have this, and Pitsu Sharp from Kokuyo. So this is a pencil, and we might be using that. So I'm going to put it there. And then I have two more things. I have my trusty correction tape, as well as a deco brush that came in the same package as this stamp. So today what we're going to do is to go through a Techo Kaigi, and I'm going to be writing it down in this Commonplace book so that I have a guide for what's going to happen today in this Techo Kaigi Plan With Me. So we are going to get started with what I have written down in my Commonplace book, and this is what it looks like. The actual Plan With Me will be uploaded as a YouTube short, and also it's going to be in my Instagram feeds as a reel, you know, the one that looks like TikTok. So this is what we have. It's very colorful, and the reason for that is so I can flip to it right away. I don't often make such colorful and bold pages, but I decided that this time it's going to be a different time because I really wanted to be able to see this page quite easily. I could tab it, but I don't want to put too much tabs in this notebook. Okay, so what did I write down? So first, I wanted to remind myself of some of the things that I wanted to include in my March pages. So I wanted to have a space to track home tasks, so cleaning, cooking, laundry, cleaning tasks. And then I also wanted to have a 1 weekly spread because, as you know, my different Hobonichi Weeks has different purposes, and because of that, I can focus on different areas of my life should I need to. And actually, that's what I prefer to do. I prefer to have those areas separate, but yet at the same time, I wanted to have something that would put them all together. So I wanted to have that 1 weekly spread, which has everything. So it's like a dump. And then I also wanted to incorporate social media so I can get back to social media seamlessly as part of my routine. I do have quite a bit of time that had opened up for social media, so please expect me to upload a little bit more, and it's going to likely be these kinds of videos. So at the bottom I have my active planners for the month. I do have a ton of planners. I still have my rings planners, but I haven't consulted them for quite a while, but I might go back to them one day. So I just wanted to make sure that I know which of these are open if ever a new one is set up, because I just wanted to, then I'll add it to this list on the next page. So I have my monthly page, which will be updated regularly, and then I have my weekly, 1 weekly, and then daily, work, home, and personal. So that's like self-care. I think that a page like this is really helpful if you have multiple planners, or if you go through several planners in a month. If you switch between planners, or if you're just switching to another planner, then that would be really good to have, so you can keep track of how many times you've been switching planners and which planners and spreads really work for you. So I highly recommend it, making something like this, even just a list, even on your phone or on your computer, just to keep track. We are sort of ready to go through the planners now. So mind that I did name the planners a separate name, so it's easy for me to recall or to talk about them in this notebook and in my head and to you guys. So let's run through that very quickly. Let me just go ahead and grab my planner stack. So these are the planners that I will be using for March. I have 4 Hobonichi Weeks and 2 A5 Kinbors. So this one is the Hobonichi Weeks Mega in navy, and I love her so much. This has been one of my most used planners since 2023. Actually, since I got it in September 2022, and this is Eclipse, and she is my work planner. Next we have my home planner, which is a Hobonichi Weeks white line in black, and this is my home planner. Her name is Moon. And then we have one of the most beautiful Hobonichi Weeks ever made, and this is the Weeks leather in silver white, and she is Sun. And then we have quite a controversial Hobonichi because this doesn't lie flat. Very different from the rest. It is made out, well, the cover is made out of polyurethane, so that is the reason why. And I've put her in this year's cover on cover, decorated, or rather printed cover on cover. And this is my social media planner. And I don't think I put it in my notebook, actually, that she is my social media planner. See, I already missed one, so I'm going to be updating that after this planner stack show and tell. So this is called Dawn, and she's my social media planner. And then we have two A5s. So this one is the Kinbor Weekly, and then this one is the Kinbor Daily. So I put her in a Hobonichi cousin cover, and it fits perfectly. It's the exact same size as Hobonichi cousin. If you're looking for a cheaper alternative to the Hobonichi cousin, then Kinbor is something that you should look at, and I highly recommend it. So this one, the green one, is called Earth, and this is the weekly. So I have struggled to make this work for me, and I think I finally found a way for her to be incorporated into my system. So this is a timed weekly, so this is an empty page. You have time of the day running down military time. And what I struggled with is because I don't like timed weekly layouts. I rarely ever use it. I would sometimes have a weekly spread where I would track time, but that is not often. And in general, I would like to not have to plan my day using a timed layout. So what I did was I didn't use the time, and instead I divided it into several sections, and this is what worked for me for this week. So this is the current week, and I am still going to test this layout throughout the month, but I think this really will work out well. So this is going to be a very sticker heavy spread, just like what I did with my Commonplace book, my Leuchtturm pocket. Overall, it's going to be very different style of planning than what I do with my Hobonichi Weeks. So if you're not into putting stickers down, don't worry, I still have those videos where I don't use a ton of stickers. So this is going to be my one monthly, or rather one weekly, and she is called Earth, and I just wanted to have a bit of a shout out with the sticker. The sticker is for She's in the Trap single from Moonbill, and she is my favorite K-pop artist. And now this is probably that one planner that I consult every single day, the first planner that I consult on a daily basis as well. So this is the cover. I forgot what this is called, but I will put it somewhere in this screen, and I have decorated it a little bit. Well, I put stuff in the pockets. So I have a few stickers. This is from 𝒕𝒉𝒊𝒔, as well as this one. 𝒕𝒉𝒊𝒔 makes 𝒕𝒉𝒊𝒔 stickers. So Mumu is the name of the fandom, or the fans of Mamamoo, which is my favorite K-pop artist. And I saw her at Sticky Expo, I think last weekend, and she was selling these as well. So I bought a lot of stickers from her because I want to support fellow 𝒕𝒉𝒊𝒔s. And then I have my stencils from Hobonichi. So I have now completed the tiny versions of these stencils. We have the orange, we have the yellow, we have the green, and the blue. So the green one is the one that I like to use the most. Okay, that's not gonna work, but maybe you can see it in one of the plan with me's. And it has lived here because it is something that I use also on a daily basis. And then, oh, by the way, this is just a sheet of notepads, and this one has radishes. This in particular speaks to me about the fandom, so I really like that. And I like to put the sticker here, either on this pocket or the one below that, so that the notepad doesn't open. Mainly that. Also, I really like these, and I've been using it sparingly because I don't have backup. I only have 2 sheets. I don't want to not have it later. But I am seeing her, I'm not sure when I'm uploading this, but I am seeing her at Comiket, which is happening on March 4th to 5th. So hopefully I'll be able to edit this tonight and then post it tonight. So if you are from the Philippines, if you are in Manila, then if you want some stickers like these, then you should definitely drop by Comiket. However, I am on a stationary no-buy, but this is a special circumstance because I am celebrating quite a big progress, as this card says. This is from Cassie Kicks, one of my favorite artists as well. Ooh, and this is my Moo light sticker, and this was the only one left, so I cannot wait to see her again this weekend, so I can grab some more of these and just fill this with all of my Moo stickers. Actually, I should message her on Instagram so that she can reserve a few things for me. Generally, this is what it looks like. I do use the time, so this is exactly what I would do on a daily basis. I would set this up the night before, and then I'll write down my to-dos from yesterday that I wasn't able to do and have migrated to the next day. So I'd write it down, and then I'd write specific things that will be happening today if I already know them. If I need to write something down for later on in the week or for the future, I would write them on this section right there. Otherwise, if it's empty, then I would put my priorities on top. So priorities on top, and then 3 columns. The first column is a timed column. So this is probably the only layout that I am actively choosing to use, the timed layout. That's already printed on the paper, so I might as well. And then on the middle column is to do, and then the last column is today, and then at the bottom I can write down highlights, memories. Okay, like here I have currently watching, and so that's a highlight because Crash Course in Romance is going to be ending this weekend as well. This is a really fun weekend. And maybe I'll share a little bit more next week when I do my setup. But it's not going to be as intense as this. This is like quite chatty. So if you are planning while watching this video, hello and good luck. So those are the planners that I'm using. Oh, also, okay. So let's take a look at the back. This is from 𝒕𝒉𝒊𝒔, which is also one of my favorite artists. I have been following her for years and years and years. Okay, and this is from Dolly K Art. And then this is some header stickers that I got a very long time ago, and this is a cat bookmark, and I used to, so okay. The planner itself didn't have any bookmarks that came with it, unlike Earth. This one has 2 bookmarks, but the dailies didn't have any, and I was needing a bookmark, and I didn't want to use tabs, even sticky tabs. I didn't want to do that, so I used to just use this to mark my daily pages, which is one of the motivations why I got this cover, so that I can have my bookmarks. And naturally, the bookmarks that I chose, or the cover that I chose, has bookmarks with ends, and I think they're faux leather so that it doesn't fray. And this is just a daily planner, and her name is Night actually, but she's not looking very night anymore, so I might rename her in the future. And those are the planners that I am using for this week, except I am going to update this very quickly. So a Commonplace book, by the way, is not something that I usually decorate. I just decorated that part because I wanted to make sure that I get to this page at the end of the month. It will be something that I will be consulting as well. Done. Is there anything else? No, I don't think so. Okay, and that is done. So now we are going to start planning. Let's go ahead and plan in my A5 Kinbor weekly. So I'm just doing a voiceover for this so that I can speed it up. This is quite a long video, but I'm starting with showing you the things that we'll be using for today. And we have washi dots, sticky notes, pens, and ruler. For the Kinbor, I only use felt tip pens and very thin, not at all watery, so very few gel pens, as the paper tend to not take a lot of pens, unfortunately. So if you're getting a Kinbor, then that is something to consider. So here I'm just aligning the pages, so deepening the lines that are already on the planner. I am completely ignoring the time stamps that are on here because I don't want to use it. I already have a time daily, so that's going to be enough. And then I'm also deepening the horizontal lines right across, and she will be fully boxed at the end of this plan with me. So that is the goal. Just make columns, or make sure that your columns are separate. I did miss one line, and I will fix that later on, and I'll talk more about this spread in the last segment of this video. So here I'm using the washi that is from the Erudite Artist, and this is a different kind of washi because it has backing. It is washi paper, so that if you're getting this, then that's just something that maybe it's nice to know. And then I made a little bar on the side because that is where the headers will go. I don't want to put the headers within the columns and rows that I'm making for each day. And then I'm taking my highlight and highlighting every other section. I made a little mistake there, so now I am fixing it, and I just went with it and made a row of 1 grid worth. And then I'm writing the headers down. I'm going to talk more about these headers later on. And for the Hobonichi Weeks Plan With Me, I'm going to be posting that as shorts. So smaller, very quick 1-minute videos. And I think that's going to be very helpful for you guys who are just looking for inspiration of what to do for the week. Something quick and easy. And of course, I'll be posting that as well on Instagram. So on the weekend, I did highlight that using the Sigma dot. You can do that with a Sigma dot marker if you have that. And then lastly, I am taking a sticker sheet or stickers from the Crafts Delight's newest release, and these are tiny transparent icons, and I really love these because they fit very well in the planners that I am using, so Hobonichi and Kinbor. So now let's go to layout. So now we have the final spread of my A5 Kinbor weekly planner, and this is already looking pretty good. There are a few things that I might be updating this with, so let's go ahead and pull out some of my Hobonichi Weeks. So that is what I do to make sure that everything is aligned. Let me go ahead and walk you through this spread first. So I've divided it into several rows. I gave up the sidebar so that I can put this washi down. This washi is from JV or 𝒕𝒉𝒊𝒔 Illustration. Hang on, let me just find her card. I tend to keep the cards of the shops when I purchase from them. So this is the one, and this is her card. I got this from StickerCon back in, I think, November or October of last year. And this is her card and her IG handle. And I've known her for quite a while. She is really good at illustrations. So art is her main thing. Oh, it has something at the back. So her shop is the Erudite Artist, and she made this washi. And when I saw her at StickerCon, I just needed to purchase it. I think that was really pretty, and I've been waiting to use this washi for a while. So let's go ahead and take a look at this main page. I'm going to take this away. So first I have the sticky note, and I was thinking if I needed to put this information in the sidebar, and that's when I decided that I could just put it in the sticky note instead and use the sidebar for some decoration. Now, last week, or this week, I'm currently on this week, and it does look really nice, and I really love how it helps me out. But at the same time, I was feeling it was a little too cluttered. I know that when I am flipping through this planner, maybe at the end of the year, that this is really going to stand out, like for sure. But at the same time, I wanted to have something a little bit more muted in terms of design. So this is quite functional. There is a little bit of decoration here and there, but mostly it's very functional. You can say it's a little bit minimalist. So at the top row, I have my socials, and I chose this top row for my socials because I don't do or have a lot of things that I do for social. I just do one a day, except for Friday through Saturday, or Friday and Saturday, because that is when I film. So today is a Friday. And then underneath that, I have this bar, and that is just to remind me of any deadline. So deadline will be separate from my to-do list. And then underneath that, I have my task list for work. And then I have my home row. So this one and this should be the same. And again, you will be probably wondering why I have multiples of the same information. And the reason for that is that I can actually see all of the tasks together with the other sections or the other tasks for different parts of my life. So I can see home, work, personal, and social all in one row. I could do that in a Hobonichi Weeks as well, but for me, the Hobonichi Weeks is very focused. So if it's just work, or if it's a work planner, it will only really have work things in it. In contrast, the A5 gives me the space to have everything together so that I'll have a better idea of what I need to do for that day. So also, my Hobonichi Weeks has a lot more information, and it has my trackers. My A5 Kinbor doesn't have any tracker whatsoever. It's just completely tasks and notes. The reason for that is because I wanted to have the trackers in a place that will be preserved, and that is why I put it in my Hobonichi Weeks, because I keep my Hobonichi Weeks, like every single Hobonichi Weeks I've ever had, versus my A5 planners, my Kinbors. I'm not sure how long I'm going to hang on to this, but for sure the Hobonichi Weeks will be here forever. Well, maybe not forever, but for a really long time. This is like my archive of sorts. So if I want to see how I'm doing weekly or even monthly, then I will have my Hobonichi Week. And for that, or for this Hobonichi Week, so this is my home planner, I have copied some of the things that are already on here, and then I noted down that I have school days, so I won't have the afternoon to clean. So no deep cleaning, no extensive cleaning on those days. It's just not possible because when I go to uni or I spend time outside of my home for a long time, that's just going to sap out all my energy, and this task is never going to get done. So we might as well just not put it down. So here I have my meal planning, and underneath that I have my cleaning tracker, so I know when I've done things. Sometimes I will just have my Hobonichi Weeks open, and I would consult my A5 maybe 3 times a week on a weekday, and then on the weekends that's when I really update my A5, so I know what's going on and how I should adjust my tasks and my schedules in the next week. And also I put the next week tasks in the Hobonichi Weeks, so I have that right here. If you're only using the A5, for example, you're using a cousin and you want to do the same. Oh, I missed a line. And you want to do the same format as me, my suggestion is for you to also put in the meal planning somewhere here, perhaps the notes or even the social. You can meal plan on there. That's something that you can customize this kind of layout with. My meal planning goes in my Hobonichi Weeks. So actually you can do just one of these, but for me, I'm obsessed with planners, so that is what happens. Okay, so the stickers, by the way, are from 𝒕𝒉𝒊𝒔. She has a Shopee. I'm not sure if she has an Etsy or an international shop, but I saw her last weekend at Sticky Expo and really loaded up my stash with her tiny little icons, which fits beautifully in a Hobonichi Weeks, and I highly recommend it if you are in the Philippines or in Manila to pick up her stickers. So her stickers are, well, at least this sticker sheet is credit card size, so you can actually put it at the back of your Hobonichi Weeks if you have pockets on there, or if you have a COC. So there is quite a lot to choose from, and I have all of the icons that I thought that I was going to need, and I guess I'm going to still load up on her stickers. And this sticker book is also from her. That is her logo right there, and I'm sorry, but it's covered up, but that is how we go. And also, actually, last thing, having 2 planners or having multiple planners also allows me to put a lot of decoration on any of my spreads. For example, here I have quite a few. Although they're still minimal, they're still not a lot, but if I'd wanted to, I could take them away and have that extra space. But since I have multiple planners and this is just for home, then it's just going to have home stuff. Therefore, I would have the space to put down decos. I'm sorry this is really rambly, but I haven't filmed in a while, and I feel like my talking videos are always very rambly. So on the next planner, oh, by the way, the plan with me for my Hobonichi Weeks will be as shorts, if I haven't said that already, but I might have earlier. I have been filming all day. So for my work planner, so that is this row, I do have quite a few things already, and I should update that. So here I just have notes, like it's very much coded, but for my Hobonichi Weeks, it is a lot more explained, I guess. There's a lot more notes. And my work planner has tended to be really, really functional. Although this week and last week I did put a giant deco sticker, and I think I'll stick with that. I think it makes it pop a little bit more. And I have tiny tasks, but they don't take up all day. Like, for example, I need to email somebody, and then that's just 15 minutes max. So I do have to write a lot of things down, but they're not big tasks. So here I now have a lot more time to dedicate to other projects, and there are many. So this planner is really going to be helpful for me to just keep up with all of the things that I have kept at the back of my mind, and now I have time to do them. So layout first. So I divided the left side of the page into 2 columns. The first column is kind of like a today. So what's happening that day? I know I'm going to be in school on Wednesday. There's something on Wednesday. There's a deadline on Wednesday. Wednesday is a big day. And then beside that, I have my to-do list. So I don't have a to-do list now. I'm probably going to write this down on Monday. And then for the right side of the page, it's a little bit more open than before. I do have quite a lot of admins now because I have to deal with them now. I have the time to deal with them now, actually. So I have my admins right here, and then this is a tracker for how long I work for that day, but only on weekdays. On weekends, I'm probably not going to track any work hours. I'm not planning to do any work unless I really need to. So we shall see. And then here I just have notes for all the projects that I'm doing for March, which is quite a lot. This is an incomplete list. There's quite a few more that had come up this week, but in most part, this is what we are doing. I do have a few papers that I need to still make, like from scratch, so that's giving me quite a lot of stress. But yeah, hopefully everything will be all right in the end. It always turns out all right. So that is what we are doing here. And then I have a lot of notes. Things tend to develop and come up throughout the week, and I'm finding that I don't want to put them in my tasks. I want to put them somewhere else. Ideally, I will have enough space for all the notes that I want to write down. I've not run out of note space for a while, but if that happens, I'm going to transfer or extend this notes page on the notes pages here at the back. This is a mega, so I do have that space, which is why I have the mega for my work planner. Also, I have Saturday and Sunday. I did put down dots there. I used the 𝒉𝒅 gray one. I only have 2 of these, so rather I have 3 colors, and I usually just do the gray one because it's very neutral and it goes with every single spread that I ever do. Saturday and Sunday, I've put down some bullets, but it may not happen, or these might be just really tiny tasks for me to do just to keep up with things, like fix my calendar on Sunday or Saturday. If you're not really going to do any work, then you can use the Saturday and Sunday actually as extra notes pages or to prep for next week. So that is the one thing that is missing here. There is no next week. I'll probably just put it down on the notes, but it doesn't have any dedicated space, which is very strange for me because I always usually have a next week, but I have a very open calendar at the moment, very few deadlines, so I can remember if there are any deadlines for that week. Actually, next week is a complete blank for me still in terms of work. That's very strange for me once again, because for the last 3 years, basically my whole month is filled with tasks. So for the last, or second to the last row for personal, I decided to go ahead and track my self-care. That's mostly workout, grooming, learning, and things I'm interested in. So I am using the Leather Weeks, and this is what we have this week. So I'm probably not going to be posting this spread online, like on Instagram. Maybe I will, I'm not sure yet. But for now, I'm feeling like I'm only going to be posting the incomplete spread, so the before the pen spread. Here I have mind, body, and soul. Before, I have mind, body, and soul all in their own boxes per day. But I'm noticing that I'm not writing down every single day about mind, body, or soul. I decided to go ahead and split this page into two. So I have two columns, and then in this column I have 3 rows for MBS, so mind, body, and soul. And then I have my self-care, and basically this side is all wellness. And then across that on the right page I have my activities, so if we go out on date night, or if I see friends, connect with my pet. And then I have a giant this week, and if I don't get to use this, then I will just have a weekly wrap up. For now, it could either be notes or weekly wrap up, so I haven't decided yet. It depends on what I have written down. And then I did a thing. Okay, so here we have some quotes, also from Crafts Delight. If the Plan With Me has been posted on here, I did show the sticker sheet that I used for this, and it's just a sheet full of quotes that are divided into different boxes, different size boxes. So this one is the princess sheet, and it has Disney princess quotes. So here, no matter how your heart is grieving, if you keep on believing. If you notice, this is an incomplete quote. What I want to do is that on the next week, I'm going to complete the quote right here, and then at the end, and then start the next quote, and then split that into 2 or more. I could have split this into 3 actually, but maybe I'll do that next week. So that when I flip through this page, then I will, or these pages, I will be seeing those quotes be completed throughout the course of the year. So I thought that was a smart idea. I don't know how long I'm going to be able to do that, but we shall see. And I don't know what's going to happen if I run out of quotes. Probably repurchase that sheet once again. So it started in March, and I cannot wait for the end of the year to see if I have done all of that. By the way, so this is a packaging, one of the clear plastic packaging from the Hobonichi store. So when you buy a Hobonichi Weeks, not all Hobonichi Weeks, but definitely the textile ones. So the bunny, what else is textile? I believe the plain color ones will have this. This one came with my soft cover, so the soft covers will also have this. The Leather Weeks didn't have it, but I decided that this is going into the Leather Weeks. It's a little bit dirty, but that is fine. And then I just put stickers down, and these are sunflowers, and she is something that I use to line with, and not really a pencil board, because the pencil board goes behind the page. This goes on top. So if I'm writing down, because the Hobonichi paper, the Tomoe River paper, is very thin and kind of rises up, curls into itself depending on the weather, and things like that. So too malleable for me, and it really affects my handwriting. I get a lot of comments, and thank you very much for complimenting my handwriting. And this is one of the tricks that I do to make sure that I write nice, and that is to hold the paper down. And then I really press my hand onto here as well, and that makes it even more pressed down so it doesn't move when I write. So that is a trick. You can also use your pencil board for that if you have any. Only have this. I have another Hobonichi Weeks, and that is this that I showed you, but I haven't planned in here yet. I'm not going to show you what's in here because I am planning something. As I've mentioned, I do have quite a bit of time, and we want to make sure that we use that time wisely. I don't know how long I'm going to have this bit of time, so I want to do something for you guys. I want to give back. And the way I'm giving back is through content. So I am planning something. So hopefully that pans out. And hopefully I get it started in March. This is one of the first steps to get back into YouTube. So if you haven't been following me on Instagram, you really need to do that. Because I explain a lot of things on my Instagram post descriptions or captions. And in one of those, I think it was the Thursday post, that I was explaining that I wanted to explore new things for my channel. I mean, I know that you guys really love the plain plan with me, very functional, this is what you do, this is what I'm doing, this is the page anatomy. I know that you guys really love that. But at the same time, I want to share something else. It's, well, not really something else, but I want to add to that, like more of these talking vlog-like videos. And I think that's very helpful also if you just want to play this video while you are planning, because that is what I do. I play plan with me videos whilst I am planning, I know. So that is my Techo Kaigi. So this is the Techo Kaigi for week 10 of 2023. And I plan to do this weekly. Hopefully I'll be able to do this weekly. And the format of this is going to be the same. It's going to be going through my planners with me, because I do plan in multiple planners, and I think that I divided the plan with me's into each Hobonichi. So my home Hobonichi, my work Hobonichi, they're usually divided into different plan with me's, but then I don't ever talk about using them together, and you wouldn't have really a complete idea of my planning system unless I talk about all my planners at some point. And maybe I do that 3 times, 4 times a year. I don't even remember, maybe even less. I wanted to make sure that you guys will have a better idea of how I'm using all of my planners, of how I'm using my multiple planner system, because it is weird. And not a lot of people do it, not a lot of people want to do it, you know, not a lot of people would invest the time and the resources to have multiple planners. And I thought that maybe if you're curious about how other people are choosing to plan, then this is the kind of video for you guys. Okay, so lastly, let's go back to my Kinbor dailies.